Today, Robinhood cracks down on trading GameStop shares as the Reddit rebellion dominates discussion on Wall Street.
So why did the Reddit group buy? They could force a surge. The short sellers would have to buy back higher, creating what's known as a squeeze. And it worked.
Whoa. I know, right? If you've been following the stock market even remotely for the past few days, then you definitely would have heard the share called the Gamestop. There's a lot of frenzy around this particular stock, and people have just been going crazy over it. So today's video is going to be all about this particular share, and I am going to take you through and explain from A to Z what this whole frenzy is all about, and hopefully by the end of the video you would just know it all. Hello everyone, my name is Raji Kaiplal and this is my first video on my channel. So welcome to my channel. So let's start off with understanding what is this GameStop company. So GameStop company is essentially a video releasing company. So it just sells videos in their store, and they have got multiple stores in the US. But because of the pandemic and also the fact that videos are now easily available online, GameStop has not been generating big revenue, or they've not been keeping up with generating good revenue, and as a result they have been facing problems and they have started to close down stores. So in such a situation, you would expect that because they have been closing down stores, this would affect the share price of this particular stock to fall, or affect that in a negative manner, right? And therefore, as a result, this particular stock in the share market has been falling in its value. The past 1 week, it's a completely different story for GameStop. It has risen in its value from $39 to over $380. So that is over 900% increase just in the past 1 week. And this is where the story gets interesting. So in the Wall Street, there are a group of people who are referred to as the hedge fund managers. Now, what they do is they collect money, or they pull in money from really wealthy people. So they pull in a lot of money and they invest very aggressively. So the reason why they do that is because they want to beat the market and get high returns. Now, whether they do that or not is a completely different story. Now, a couple of hedge fund managers, what they have decided to do is they wanted to play around with this particular stock, the GameStop, to make more money out of it. Now, you must be thinking, how is that possible, right? Because GameStop is already going through major losses and it's shutting its doors. And how is that these hedge fund managers are going to pull in their money and invest that money and make money out of a struggling stock like GameStop? Right, so in a normal scenario, or the market that we know, is that we would expect that we buy a share that we think will grow in value, or that the prices will go up, and we see there's a potential growth for that particular company. So we would usually buy a share or multiple shares from that particular company. And then once we buy that, and when the prices go up, I don't know, say for example, you buy X share and you buy it at £50, and then when it reaches £55, you're going to sell that off. And in that case, you're going to get a profit of £5 per share. And that is what we know about the stock market, and that is what a general investor does, isn't it? And this is referred to as long selling. Now, there are people out in the stock market who are essentially traders. What they do is they can actually make money or make profit even when the reverse is happening. That is, even when the company's value or the share price is falling down, even in that scenario, or when a market crash is happening, even at that situation, these traders are able to make money or are able to make profit out of it. And this particular strategy that they use is referred to as shorting or short selling. And the people who do this is referred to as short sellers. I know this is probably not going to make sense at all, but I'm going to try and explain this to you with an example. And do not worry if you do not get that in the first go. Please feel free to stop the video, go back and listen to that again, because this is a bit of a different strategy and it might take a while for you to understand. So I'm going to try and explain this with the help of an example. Let's say you borrowed a red dress from your friend and sold it to someone else who wanted it at, say, a price of $100. Now, a week later, you find out that the same red dress has gone on a sale in the store for $60. So what you do is you buy that dress for $60 and hand it back to your friend from whom you had initially borrowed. So in effect, you've actually made a profit of $40. This is exactly what is called shorting or short selling in the stock. Now, your judgment for that stock could actually go wrong, and maybe after you place a sell order, the prices of that particular share could actually go higher. Now, in that instance, when it's going higher, you still have to honor the contract where you said you will sell it to someone at this particular price. So that means you have to buy the this particular share at an inflated price and then sell it to someone else that you had agreed earlier at a lower price. In that case, you actually incur a loss, and this is referred to as short squeeze in the stock market. Okay, so how is all this relevant to the situation that we're talking about in terms of GameStop? So like I said, there was this group of hedge fund managers who obviously expected or saw that this particular company was falling in its value, and therefore decided to short on this particular stock. So they shorted on this very, very heavily. Now, the other side, there was another group of people which are called the Wall Street Bets, and this is actually an online group in the Reddit platform. And these people, there are actually quite a number of people who are members of this particular group, and they in effect actually wanted to teach a lesson to these hedge fund managers. So what they decided to do is they decided to come together as a team, and they decided to buy this particular stock. So what would you expect when people start buying a particular share? You would expect the price to increase, right? And this is exactly what happened when the Reddit group members, or that particular Wall Street Bet group members, they started to buy this particular stock. The price of it slowly started to increase. And the icing on the cake was when on 26th January, Elon Musk tweeted this. As soon as he tweeted that, regular people who were outside the Reddit group, when I say Reddit group, the Wall Street Bet group, they went ahead and they started buying this particular stock. I do not know if that was just because of FOMO or the fact that because Elon Musk tweeted it and probably they thought it made sense. I don't know, but so many people, they started to buy, and as a result, this particular stock, the GameStop, just shot up in its price from $38 to all the way to over $380. And that's basically a 900% increase. So now, as you can imagine, this is something that the hedge fund managers did not see at all. So obviously now they actually started to lose out in this. So do you remember the word that I used before, the short squeeze? That is exactly what's happening here. They actually have a contract where they have to sell it at a particular price. But now that the value of this GameStop is increasing so crazy, they still have to buy it at an inflated price. They still have to buy it, but now they're selling it at a very low price. And therefore, this resulted in huge loss for the hedge fund managers. And it's not even in thousands, it's over $5 billion. So this is pretty much the overall story of what has been happening with the GameStop share. So the hedge fund managers, they thought that they can make a good profit out of this particular share, but it has actually gone the other way around. Beyond all this, this has also stirred some controversy or some debate, because when regular people, when just normal people started to buy all these, and it's just created such a big problem in the stock market, the platforms like Robinhood, Trading 212, most of the other platforms, they were broken down. So what these platforms decided to do is actually stop letting the regular buyers to actually buy these stocks, which is the reason why there has been an ongoing debate or controversy as to why is that, or who are these platforms to make that decision when these hedge fund managers decided to short heavily on the stocks, on this particular stock, to make profit. No one really stopped them. But whereas when regular people decided to get onto this and make profit, these platforms decided to not let them do that anymore. So there has been an ongoing controversy about this between regular people and the Wall Street. Now, mind you, this particular thing has now not been just going along with GameStop, but it's now seen in a few other shares like BlackBerry, AMC, etc. And in my mind, this is the perfect example of what a gambling is all about, because people just decided to go in and buy a particular share for no reason. Just because everyone was buying it, they just decided to buy. They did not look into the values of the company or the fundamentals or the balance sheet or nothing of that sort, but just because everyone was buying it, they decided to buy. So which means they do not know what the outcome of what their action could be. It could either be that they could make profits, or that they could actually end up in loss. And that is exactly what gambling is all about. So that's really the whole story about GameStop, and I hope you've actually now understood what has been in the news and what's been going on in the stock market as well. And also hope that you have understood new terminologies like short squeeze and shorting. This was a video that I put together really quick so that I can just put out and explain to you in layman's terms what all these means and what's just been going on in the stock market. So did not really put in so much effort to make it perfect, but I hope this serves the purpose. So thank you so much for watching.